Good morning, traders, and this is your Aussie Daily Review, your South African Top 40. So we had 2 days, well, 2 bearish days in a row, and in my view, that's really just a little bit of a pullback. I'm just easing up on the oscillators now, so we're not so horribly in the overbought territory, and we kind of, if we just take this level here, didn't really pick up a level. I would have expected us to bounce off this level here of, I'll give that level to you lower down, but I think the important factor here is we need to pay attention to these previous swing highs here. Okay, you can see there and there's 3 at this area, plus quite a bit of buying or selling, happening off this level. Okay, so this is a level that that I'd be looking at for a deeper pullback. So we'll look at those on the lower time frames. So right now, for us on the 4 hour, you can see we kind of broke through this area. This is the area that I was expecting buyers to step in off, which was 52872. They did kind of come in off here with a tweezer bottom, but you can see how the bears were aiming for this gap. Okay, and if you watch my gap video, you'll see that I often tell you that the low of where it gapped, so it gapped up. I should actually be doing this on a lower time frame. So let's just go straight down to the hour. Okay, so you can see there's the gap. And what I've observed over the years is when you do have a gap up, the bottom of that first bar, and it's the first 5-minute bar, is the bottom of the gap, and that is the first line of defense for the gaps. Okay, it's very rare to see price just fly past this low here and close a gap, especially when you've had a couple of days of that gap being open. So often what happens is the ambushers step in off there, like I did right here. You can see buyers, story of 3 sitting here, and then we had pretty much 2 breakouts. There was the first breakout, and then we had the longer term breakout, which was that one there. Okay, and you can see how the buyers stepped in at the close on a Friday. So this is pretty much that last real hour of trading. Well, not even the last real hour of trading, because the JSE shut down at 3 o'clock on Friday. So that was just before 3 that happened. Okay, more than likely as a result of the data coming out of the US. But anyway, that's just the way that is. So if we look at what we should have traded, we would have traded, well, not that I traded anything on this, but you can see the closing range strategy didn't really work out. We did get a break, and we didn't really, or we got a couple of breaks below, but they were all fake outs, and then we rallied. Okay, so this one didn't work out, but I mean, if you look at how many worked out over the past couple of days, yeah, that's the one loss that you're going to have. Now, the critical thing that I can see at the moment is the following, and we've got price making a lower high at the moment, and then if you look at the oscillator, we've got a higher high. So we've got continuation diversions here. So what that's telling me is that we may very well be looking at a pullback here. Okay, so what you're looking for is a bit of a pullback and then a rally, or alternatively, we're going to play a closing range breakout, which is pretty much what I'm interested in. We are above the alligator at the moment, so I'd like to see a bit of a pullback. so long as it stays within the range. So there's a couple of levels we can look for. So it's either the bottom of the range or 50% of the range. So if we can have some kind of a pullback at the open, hover around here, have a look on the lower time frame, something like the 5 or 6 minute charts, and wait till you see some good price action there, and then look for that long. Your stop is going to be below the low of Friday, which is actually, now I lied to you, your stop for any long is going to be below this swing low here. So I would pretty much take it to 52,900. So I'd go 52.80, 52,980, just to give myself some wiggle room. 52,980 is my stop, and looking for a long. Okay, what we're playing is two things. We've got a breakout here. So we've got this breakout here, and also we've got a 200 EMA on the half hour here, which we flirted with and run away from. So wouldn't surprise me to see us come back to this area and then rally off it. Okay, oscillator is indicating to me that there is some kind of a pullback coming. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fall to the floor. That just means that there's a bit of a pullback coming. So you may find it just meander down to this area and then rally, or what may happen is we may end up with a break of this area here. Now let's just do this. So if we get a break of this area here, then this top gap is definitely on. Okay, so that's kind of my view at the moment, but bear in mind you've got a gap to the upside and we've got a gap to the downside. So we've got magnet up, magnet down, 50-50 of what these guys are going to do. You just got to get in with and ride it with them. So if we just look at the factors that can influence the market today, 10 cents up 1.4%, and that's based on good Chinese data coming out. The US markets were relatively flat. The US, and that's on Friday, and right now they're also pretty flat. So Hang Seng is also fairly flat, and the Nikkei is flat as well. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm seeing today. I really do expect us to sort of hover in the closing range for a bit and then look for a breakout. Okay, and I'm looking for long. So I'm looking for a bit of a pullback into the 50 or down to the bottom here. Then I'm looking for a long. And our range target is gap close, which is also these previous swing lows here. Okay, range target to the downside is bottom gap close. Okay, so now you understand what I mean by 50-50. Oh, sorry, that's not the range target. Range target to the upside is more than gap close. It's that inside. The 161 is gap close. Okay. Pretty much irrelevant actually, because both gaps, we're kind of sitting in the middle, almost in the middle of both gaps. So you know which direction are we going to take. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's my view at the moment. Looking for longs. Just want a bit of a pullback, some positive price action, and then we'll be looking at longs. Okay. If we do break to the downside below the opening range, the closing range, sorry, then definitely that's a short option, and that will be gap close. No two ways about that, because we've tested this low here. You can see we've tested it quite 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, and almost 5. So a break below this level here, well, a break below the range, it'll test this for a bit and then it'll break through and it'll come and close a gap. Okay, anyway guys, that's my view. And if we do get to this gap close, that's another long entry. Okay, there's a fairly decent long entry with a stop below 52431. Okay, so that's kind of my play for today. Wait for some kind of a pullback. Long, if that fails, then it'll be short, and just trade for this range target, which will be gap close. Okay, there we go. That's it for me today. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.